dear God, give me some of that Mastercam.
All right, welcome back. And today I'm going to go over a little more of making an object, converting it into bitmap, and then showing you what we can do with that object. So we will start out with a new page. You can name it whatever. In this case, let's go new. It's going to name it Yelton nameplate. I put 3 on there because I've got like 5 of these files, so you don't need to do that. Just save it as your last name nameplate. I will go down here to this A, which is the text box. You might not see it if the table's there. Just hit the thing and drop it down. I'm going to make a box for text, 10 inches long or so. It's not going to be that big in the end, so it doesn't matter. Just makes it easier to see. I'll go up to, let's say, 72 font. Now I am going to make my name right here. And what I want to do is, instead of just this Arial font, I want you to pick something that has a little more style. I don't care what it is, but I will tell you that if you go into some of these Gothic fonts, you're going to end up doing a lot of work. So you might want to keep it relatively simple. Just for the heck of it, I'll try this Harlow Solid. Let's try that again. You have to highlight that first. There we go. So you're going to pick a font. It might be a good idea to have me look at the font before you go further than this, and I'll tell you how much work you're going to have to do. But regardless, we can make it work. So I have this, but what is happening is this is just letters and a font. It doesn't read it as an object, and I want to turn it into one object. To do that, you guessed it, I'll go to bitmap, convert to bitmap. Always just hit OK. Now it didn't pull up right here, so I'm going to get out of that command and go to pick tool, and it automatically highlighted the last object. It popped up this trace bitmap box. I'm going to go to outline trace and high quality image. Always just hit reduce bitmap, pulls this up. Let's let it run through without removing color from the entire image. So we said remove background by default. Sometimes it takes a minute. And you can see we still have some white inside of there. So we'll hit this. And now we're left with grayscale, which for the computer means no color, which is what we want. Now I can manipulate this object and do whatever I want with it. Let's figure out, something that would be easy to cut. Let's say 10 inches by, sorry, I meant to change this to 10 by 4. There we go. Now I'll just, and let me show you something. If you hit P, it moves fine because it still is one object, so it's centered. And then I can kind of make that a little bigger, and I'll keep hitting P so I like what I see. Here's the problem. When it goes to cut this out, this is going to drop out in the middle, that's going to drop out in the middle, that's going to drop, that's going to drop, that, and that. All right, so we need to make a little bridge to put these islands to the rest of the white space. And there's a couple different ways we can do that. So let's try this. I'm going to select my piece, Control C, Control V for copy, or you can just, right click copy, right click paste, wherever paste is. Now on this one, I'm going to take all the color out by hitting this white X. It goes away, don't freak out. You're going to go up here to your line width, outline width, and hit hairline. And from this, we can work out our details. I'm going to use the 2-point line. And I'm just going to make some little connectors where this won't fall out. Okay, so let's look at what we have going on. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to show you what we're doing. The first thing I'm going to do is go to virtual segment delete. If you don't see that, click on this little icon. It's probably a crop by default. Here's virtual segment delete, and you can do that, and you can do that. And that's broken that object, all right? So I'll continue to do that. And so I'm using virtual segment delete to trim these and to trim the little piece away so that I have a quote unquote island in the middle. Okay, we're back. And now you can see what's going on. So again, I'm just going to click on this, but I'm not 100% sure that these lines are really going to cut, because when I click on them, it doesn't show it as being a hairline. So it's very important that at this point you go back, select the whole thing, and then put hairline. And for safety, I like to click on one of the lines that I created, and it does say hairline. So now I know that's correct. Whoops, don't worry about that. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to object and I'm going to group it. All right. Now I will take this and put P. And so it went back over it. And then I'm going to actually change my workspace. Let's do 12 by 5. Actually does, I'll show you why. Let's do 24 by 18. And then let's make a piece around here that is the original 10 by, I think we said 4. I'll hit P and put that over it. I will now go to line width and I'll put that as hairline. And then I want you to go from here, which is fillet or round corner, to chamfer. And then I want you to put 0.75 by 0.75 chamfer on that. We know this is hairline. You should be good to go. Again, I'm going to grab all of it and I'm going to put it up here about like that so that I know I have enough to cut out of my material. You're going to need a piece that's bigger than 10 and bigger than 4, right? We can move this about as need be. I'll help you with that in person. But for now, you should be good to go. Make sure you've saved this, your last name, nameplate. And when we get to the laser engraver, don't forget that that's going to be a 2-process part. So what you're going to want to do when you get over there, this is where it's going to get really tricky. So pay attention. You've opened your part on Corel. I want you to take this and I want you to copy it. And then I want you to delete it. I want you to run the file. Okay. So it's going to try to cut this out, but when you set up the vector or the cutting settings, I want you to put the speed at about 90, and I want you to run the piece at, let's say 15 on power. All right. When the whole thing gets done, I want you to delete this, hit Control V, bring this back in, and then you're going to just hit go. And it should recognize that there's only a hairline cut. You will select the hairline to be the normal speed for cutting whatever it is, whether it's acrylic or plastic, and then let it cut the whole thing out after it has lightly laser cut the name and engraved everything that we talked about. All right, hopefully that works, and let's see what you can make. Thanks.